Well, I am really considering taking my now $20,000 portfolio and moving it to Webull. However, I can't because Webull is completely down right now. The boomers out there in the mainstream media are going to continue to try to slander us. They're going to try to say that on Reddit we're just a whole bunch of trolls who have malicious intent, or even worse, they're calling us alt-right. This is not a political movement. We're giving power to the players, just like GameStop says. Getting back at Wall Street. And that's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about memes, internet culture. Boomers do not understand this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Zoomer Economics. Mike here. And in today's episode, as you can tell, things might look a little bit different. And this is going to be a very impromptu episode. And I might start doing this format a little bit more often. As you can see, if I go to the Robinhood portfolio, for the last month, things have been really wild. You'll notice a lot of flat points, and that's because I started investing in cryptocurrencies. And crypto has been doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to go into any of that right now because we have a huge story to cover. And I'm sure most of you are very well aware of what's going on with GameStop. Now, the GameStop stock has been a center of attention for a lot of reasons, but mostly is because of the short squeeze that is happening right now. To put it into simple words, right now, as you can see, if we go to the 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, it's a strong slope downward. From here, it's at $30 and it's gone all the way down consistently until it bottomed at about $4. So if you know anything about GameStop, you know that GameStop is nothing like what it was back in the day. When I used to go to GameStop back in 2009 or something, GameStop was everything for me, and it was my life. But consistently, they have just not been able to keep up with things like online retail, digital downloads, and stuff like that. So they've been really hammered. And talks of bankruptcy have been going on for a very long time for them. Everybody on Wall Street, these huge, big hedge funds, have been pouring money into a short position on GameStop, meaning that they're just saying, hey, GameStop is going down, and we believe that it's going to continue going down. And sure enough, they were making money. They were making a lot of money for a very long time. But in comes the memes. Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets is a Reddit page, and if you know anything about Reddit, Reddit is a place where you can come together and make a community about pretty much anything you want. When I first started going on Wall Street, when I first started going on When I first started going on Reddit, it was for pictures of wiener dogs and electric skateboards. Eventually, it started turning into some other stuff for my electric bike, and sure enough, I came across a lot of trading things. And Wall Street Bets was one of my favorite because it was all pretty much comedy. This was a place where everybody went and they showed off their riskiest bets. That's it. There was no actual trading advice here. It was all just, hey, I threw $15,000 into this one thing and it turned into $1 million, and then I lost it the very next day. Hilarious. There's so many different pages out there that just focus on covering what goes on in Wall Street Bets, and it's gotten so huge. And in the process of that, they all started getting together and targeting something. They started targeting the short positions. And like I just said, GameStop was extremely shorted. Everybody was pretty much unanimously agreeing that GameStop was going to die. But Wall Street Bets came in, and with a gathering of about 2 million people at the time, 2.5 million, they all started discussing buying heavily into GameStop. And there was one guy in particular whose name I can't really say, but he was deep in the value, and he was one of the first people to actually get in onto GameStop gains, and people have made millions and millions of dollars as more and more people started buying into GameStop. Is this market manipulation? That's the argument that's going on right now. once GameStop started really moving, it was unstoppable. If we go to the 1 month, you'll see it popped up right here on January 12th. It went up to $34, and people were losing their minds. But it just kept going, and it kept going and going until the pops just started getting stronger and stronger. And of course, there's going to be dips. Of course, there's going to be dips on stuff like this. That's just how stocks work. But then look at this. From 145 in one day, it went all the way up to $370. So obviously, things are going absolutely nuts with GameStop. And it is for no clear reason other than getting back at Wall Street. And that's what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is all about memes, internet culture. Boomers do not understand this. These old people out on Wall Street or on the mainstream media do not understand the power of a meme, but we do. On Reddit, we understand that a meme is something that will pop off really fast and really hard, and in a case like a short squeeze, that's exactly what we need. And look at what's happening. We were able to push the stock all the way up to $300, $400 in the aftermarket, getting really, really high into the 400s. There's a lot of reason why this is unsustainable, obviously. If you come down here and look at my actual position, you'll see that I only put in about $500, and at my highest, we were up over 200, 300%. So things were looking really good. If you look at my shares, I bought a very meme value of $420.69.69. So it was all just a joke for me. It was all just memes. But I bought in close to about $100. And sure enough, bam, things started going up. Actually, if we look at the 1 day, GameStop has already bounced up from 125. It went from 468 all the way down to 125, and now it's on its way back up again. You might be asking, Mike, are you going to buy the dip? Yes, but no. That's where we get to the huge, huge, huge problem, and that's where things are starting to get real. Things are getting very serious because now, as we can see right over here, I'm going to zoom in, you can close out of your position in this stock, but you cannot purchase additional shares. Robinhood is forcing everybody to sell, and you cannot buy in. And this is not just happening on Robinhood. This is happening on TD Ameritrade. Webull is just completely down. As you can see, I'm trying to get into Webull. I made an account, but boom, they're gone. They're just not working. I'm trying to make my account, and look, here we are. Now Webull is back up. Things are really slow. If we try to look up GME, nothing. Frozen. GME. Click. Nothing. Okay? So Webull, there we go. Obviously, Webull is extremely slow. Let's go back to, since Robinhood is being so restrictive, and this is just market manipulation outright. This is absolutely market manipulation, because if you can't sell, or excuse me, if you can't buy, then who are you selling to? This is awful. This is clearly a tactic that is either being funded by these billionaires, soon to be millionaires, who are losing their fortunes, or this is Robinhood completely selling out. Maybe Robinhood already sold out and they're just dealing with their buddies. But this is something that we're seeing throughout all the brokerages right now. See, Webull is just not handling it right now. There's also the other stocks that they've been getting into, such as AMC. And if I type in AMC, boom, look at what happens. Nothing. We cannot share those stocks. If I type in GME, look, it's just not even there. This is awful. This is terrible. I can't use any other words to describe this except for illegal. This is extremely illegal. This is market manipulation. The boomers out there in the mainstream media are going to continue to try to slander us. They're going to try to say that on Reddit we're just a whole bunch of trolls who have malicious intent, or even worse, they're calling us alt-right. This is not a political movement. This has nothing to do with politics or any political allegiance. This is purely the small people bringing power back to the small people. We're giving power to the players, just like GameStop says. And that's what we're doing. There's no foreign influence here. Wall Street Bets has been around for years. And I haven't been around since 2012, but I've been around since early 2020 when I started investing. So I had my finger on the pulse for quite some time. And I didn't really know how valuable that was until about now. Now what I'm seeing is the power of a large community and the power that comes from what they call on Wall Street Bets weaponized autism. Now, that's a bold statement right there. And there's a lot of bold statements that go out on Wall Street Bets, but it's not a place where you go for legitimate financial advice. It's just for fun. This is the equivalent of just talking shit in the locker room. There's nothing actually going on here. Nobody's actually physically selling or buying anything from you on this website. It is not a hedge fund, and it is completely not some kind of market manipulation tactic that is not already out there, right? If we look at all of these financial shows that exist, it's all market manipulation. There's so many different financial institutions that I'm not going to mention, but there are places on YouTube that you can go where they live stream them trading, and they show their short positions, they show their long positions, very similar to what I do when I tell you that I'm purchasing into something or buying into a different company, selling this position. Saying that what Wall Street Bets is doing is market manipulation is like saying anybody out there on YouTube that is like me or like these other different financial people, that has to be market manipulation too. So you'd be tearing down the whole entire thing. And that's exactly where Robinhood decides to stand now. They want to be a part of the team that is bringing this all down. And what are we going to do about it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I am really, really considering taking my now $20,000 portfolio and moving it to Webull. However, I can't because Webull is completely down right now. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, the only thing I can say is that I'm going to hold strong on my meme stocks. I even bought into Palantir just because I wanted to. It's not doing anything for me really. I only put in about $50, so it was just to see what's going on. But when I bought into GameStop, it was also just to see what was going on. But then I really started reading into the idea about the short squeeze. And if we just scroll through here, there are some really, really amazing fan fictions, as they call them. The reason they call them fan fictions is because this is not legal advice, and it is not something that you should be taking with any amount of seriousness. But some of this information is actual information. And the main thing that is going on here is that they're talking about what a short squeeze is, and this is a very, very highly shorted stock, GameStop. There's so many people going against it right now that the only thing that can happen by pushing it up like this is we kill some serious hedge fund companies. I'm not going to mention anybody in particular, but there are some people that are hurting right now, losing billions. This drop right now might have helped them, but most of them are thinking that it's going to go down to like 20 or 4 or 0. We didn't even get close to 20. We're not getting back to 20 anytime soon. I wish I could have continued buying into this dip, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be possible, at least today. I'm going to continue to try to get in more, and I will most likely end up purchasing them on Webull if that's still available. But if you are not in America, you still have the opportunity to get in and be a part of this revolution. This is not the first time that the internet has come together and taken down something that is much bigger than what people thought it would be. Right now, what we're seeing is that these hedge funds and their billions and billions of dollars, they're playing a very unfair game. And they don't like that we're playing their game along with them and winning. So, with that, all I can say is that memes are going to win. Memes will win. And if we look at Dogecoin had a serious spike today too. Dogecoin went all the way up to about 0.025, and my average cost is way lower than that. So we were way up today. Obviously, it spiked down. It's going back up a little bit. I don't intend on purchasing much more. I only put in $50 as a meme. And, you know, it paid off for a few. I had about $200 at my highest, and that's pretty cool. But between GameStop, Dogecoin, and something like Tesla, there's a lot of money to be made in memes. Are you going to stick around for that? That's up to you. Right now, it seems like Tesla has been going sideways for quite some time, and earnings did not do any good for it. But I'm also convinced that this whole Robinhood versus the internet thing, or the internet versus Wall Street, I'm sure that this plays a part in why Tesla is going sideways. I even considered pulling out some of my profits because I wanted to reallocate them somewhere else, and I decided not to, obviously, because I still feel like Tesla has a lot of room to run. When Tesla does go sideways for quite some time, there's usually a pop after. So I've been saying since January 15th that we were due for a pop anytime soon, and, you know, Tesla is going to keep playing its games. Eventually, I do believe that it will go up a little bit more, but at one point I had about $9,500 in Tesla, and that's money that could be put in other places. My other positions here, if I show my equity, as you can see, I'm trying to keep everything at around 1,000, and then there are the stocks that I'm just messing around with. GameStop became a lot more serious just as it grew, but you know, money's money, and funny is funny. There's a lot of things that are funny. Money is funny, and we might as well try to go along with the funny if it's gonna bring us money. I'm gonna stop. I hope that you guys are at least aware of what's going on here. I hope that you guys can become aware of what a short squeeze is. I hope that you guys have been doing your research on what options trading. I mentioned in a couple of my other videos that I have a couple of options that have been working, not working. And, you know, I get really long expiry windows because it allows room for error in things like this. Fubo is a fantastic example of a company that did have a huge pop up. Over here, it topped out at, oh wait, no, this is just a call. Fubo is a fantastic example of why you would really want a long-term expiry on a very volatile stock that you believe is going to be moving. I bought my contracts for a $50 call. That's the right chart. I bought at around this part right here. It spiked up like crazy. I was super happy. And then Fubo just decided to have a huge sell-off. There was another run up here and there. And sure enough, we are touching $50 again. I still have about a month until this contract expires. So I'm pretty bullish on this. I think that it's at least going to pull up and exceed the value. I put in about $900 for this contract. So I bought it when it was pretty expensive. Right now, it's not even close to $900. So I might buy another contract because I do think that Fubo is going to hit $50 again and sell pretty fast. But this is an example of me using information and experience that I had previously and applying it towards this whole GameStop debacle. I am not buying any contracts on this, and I don't recommend that you do too. However, if you really want to look at people who did, Wall Street Bets has some pretty crazy gain porn on there where people have gained millions and millions of dollars. I don't think I'm going to become a millionaire overnight off of GameStop, but I do really want to be a part of this revolution that is happening online. So all I can really say is I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it informed you on something or at least brought you up to date. I also hope that you guys can subscribe, check out my other videos on my portfolio. I haven't been uploading because I've just been having a lot of stuff go on in my own personal life as far as work and also some technical difficulties. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I will still keep posting a lot. That's pretty much my daily use account. So please go check me out there. That's where you can still see what I'm up to, check out what the portfolio is doing, and invest in memes, invest in your future, and I wish you all the best. Goodbye, Robinhood, and goodbye, large hedge funds. See you in the next video.